What's going on, folks? Vinyl community, worldwide people, friends, and family. It is Sunday, February 7th, and I received some records so I can show them to you from my brother Chris Cole in Chicago area, John Coltrane 68. You know what, Chris, I know you watch, so I just want you to know that I appreciate what you send me from the bottom of my heart. I know you send it as a gift of love. I know you, like me, have live, on a limited income, and you really can't. It's not that you can't afford, but it's like you have other things that you could be doing with your money. But you send records to people, not just me, but people all over the United States, and I really appreciate it. I do. Let me show those, and I have some comments if I remember them about my channel growing. Thanks for watching, people. So Chris Cole and I had the opportunity to meet years ago. I was in Chicago working, doing some music work, and it worked out that I got to go out to his house and meet. I made the video. It was a wonderful time. But in many ways I relate to Chris. Chris, I know you don't mind me saying it, Chris is a depressive personality, and goes through some deep depressions that are very, very, very tough. I recognize them because I go through them. They don't hit me as hard as they used to. That's why I can relate to you, Chris, when you write and express when you're in the depths of your despair. It lifts and goes away, but it comes back. It's cyclical. I can just relate to the brother. And Chris is just also a master of finding good music for cheap. But his knowledge is deep. So, thank you for everything you sent me. The other thing is that Chris always sends me something out of his personal collection. I never ask for this, but he does it. Whether I got nothing to say about it. He always sends me something out of his collection, his personal collection, that he wants me to have, and it just touches me so much. So here we go. Ruth Crawford, String Quintet, George Pearl and Milton Babbitt, Composers Quartet. The None Such series. I like this series of contemporary music that None Such did back in the 60s and 70s. So this is something that Chris knows that I would like to collect and have all of. I've listened to this, and of the compositions here, and I do like contemporary composition. The Milton Babbitt strikes me the most realized. My thought on the String Quartet by George Pearl is that this is an exploration of an avenue, of an idea. It's just, I'm doing this to see what it does, as opposed to this is music that really has a flavor and a meaning. It's an interesting study. The Milton Babbitt kind of grabs on a deeper level. String Quartet number 2, really good. Here is an artist who I've heard but never owned. Jean-François Fabiano with Margie Gillis. Les Racines du Rythme Eternel. And I'm familiar with Fabiano. He's played with a lot of folks. I used to have this album called C Fluorescent by Alain Belaich that he played on. Should have never sold it. This is very nice, percussion-y, instrumental music that kind of comes somewhere in the... it's like a healthy sort of hybrid type of music. It's not quite ethnic, but you can hear where flavors of cultural touchstones come through in the rhythm. It does unfortunately have that 80s production sound. You know what I mean right away, some of you, when I say that. I don't so much collect classical music currently, but I have a lot, and when I'm in the mood I play it. And thanks for sending this, because I know why you sent this. You know that I love Debussy. I do. 3 Nocturnes. I like Bernard Haitink, but I also like the aesthetic of this album cover. It's beautiful. Simple but beautiful. And I know these, you can get these for next to nothing, so I appreciate it, Chris. Chris, I do. The album that he gave me out of his personal collection, I appreciate. The guitarist Philip Catherine, Babel. This is a nice date. He's got Yannick Top, who is in Magma on bass. Andrea Ceccarelli, who has his own CV. This is a good record. Not like Pat Metheny. Not like Pat Martino. Somewhere in between those two. How's that? Good guitarist who is probably still playing. And just... I first heard of him through his work with Jean-Luc Ponty way back in the 70s. And the thing that I really like here, even though the cover is damaged, thank you so much for getting this for me, because you know I appreciate who this is. Siegfried Schwab, fabulous guitar. The cover is obviously damaged, but this album is very cool to have. Thank you so much, Chris. Siggy Schwab is a guitarist from Germany who has a long history and came to my attention through his involvement with some of the quote-unquote krautrock groups, namely Etc., and working with Wolfgang Downer. This is classical guitar, and so to listen to it, it's almost like listening to like a middle-of-the-road record, music to eat breakfast by. But for my collection, this is significant to have Siggy Schwab's first solo album, released in America. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. As goes with larger numbers, the more people that know about you, or the larger your camp is, the more diverse the people are in it. And so you'll have a certain amount of people who are really focused in, honed in on what you're doing. And you have other folks who kind of just come along and see something they like, or something grabs their attention and they jump on. I bring this up because the commentary is, the number of comments I'm receiving is really exploding. And that's fine. I don't intend to respond to all questions. I'm getting a lot of questions from old videos. Some of the questions are to me are worth answering, and some of them it's like, well, either I can't answer it. It's like if you just keep watching, you'll get the answer. Okay. With that in mind, I want to clarify something I wrote on the Black Sabbath. I wrote on the Black Sabbath review video, I said I delete all negative comments. It's not censorship, because I've had someone claim it's censorship. This is what I mean, since it seems like it should be. Anyway, I'm going to explain. I'm exasperated, okay? To me, this seems really clear. When I say negative comments, I'm talking about people leaving comments that, when I read them, they come off as disrespectful or an angry blurt that, well, I don't know why you left it here, okay? I'll give an example of I'm not censoring, okay? Here's a perfect example. So recently I received an album by the band Suede. I like it. Well, recently someone left a comment that they think that Suede is bland, ordinary, whatever, that they're no good, okay? I didn't censor that. That's not negative, disrespectful. Frankly, I don't even know why this person bothered to leave the comment. What was the purpose? It's obvious from the video that I'm saying I like the band. You telling me you don't like that, why are you telling me? What is your purpose? I left the comment, I don't know why this person... What is their purpose to come and, we're celebrating the band and you come and try to drop, I don't think they're very good. Well, you can say that, but why? I don't know why. But other comments where the flavor of the comment is kind of nasty toned, it's just like a put down in an angry way. And when when I can catch it, sometimes people try to be snarky and sarcastic, try to be insulting to me in a backhanded way. I don't always catch it, but when I do, I censor it because I don't deserve that. Perfect strangers coming along and being idiotic, mean, low. I'm not having it because I wouldn't have it in real life. Through my work of working with all kinds of people, I've had to deal with really not unsocialized people, that's the way to put it. People who are so untrained that when they sit in a chair and they get up, they leave a shit stain. Okay? That's the comparison that I'm making to the kind of negative comments that I delete. This channel, although I make it public, it's like I'm inviting you into my home space, headspace when I talk to you. And to just come by and anonymously, not even knowing me, say something rude, that's just really immature and wrong. And you need to stop it, even though you are probably so uneducated or something that you won't. But I'm here to tell you, if no one else will put you in check, when people come by here with that crap, it's not cool. There's way too much of it, and there's too many people who don't discern, and that's why it happens. I'm not having it. I'm not censoring. I'm not suffering idiots. It's just like if people, it's one more example. Say you invite a friend, and he brings a friend unannounced. The friend is uncouth, disrespectful of your space, rude. Well, they gotta go. I didn't ask for they asked to be here in the first place. You feel me? Okay? All right. I get enough feedbacks from people to know that I'm on point here. I'm on track. That, what I think I'm doing is what's happening. So by shining attention on the few that don't understand, I'm trying to help you all to come on. Wake up and get with it, okay? Stop being... you feel me? Be a good person. Bring some light. I am about to announce and put on my website that these are for sale. I'm getting there. Been researching it, okay? Probably going to start off and see if I can get $20 a piece for these. I know it's a 7-inch, but this is a collector's item. This is my first record, made in 1981. These are brand new. With that in mind, I had a meeting on Friday with, I told you about a year ago that a documentary had gotten started being made on me. It was part of a student project for these students going to Creighton University. Well, they finished it enough to get their grade, but they never finished. Well, the head of the group, who was a student when he started, I just met with him, has since been hired by Creighton University. He is now teaching the class that he was in when he started making the documentary about me, okay? We're going to finish the documentary, okay? We're doing the final interview, or we're going to do the wrap-up interview this week here at my house. It's just a real honor. And what the reason it came up was while we were sitting talking, he noticed the pile of these sitting, and he said, "Well, what's this?" And then I told him the story about how this is my first record that I ever made, and when we had them made and divvied up between the band members, mine were gone almost right away, and some of the other band members, they're still sitting in their closets. And so he bought one right away, no questions asked. When I said, "Well, I'm thinking about selling them for $20, he said, "I'll take one right now." So that's kind of what helped me decide, okay, I'm going to try to sell them at $20 and see how it goes, I'll be making a video, and once I have it up on my website, in a couple of days, maybe even later today, I'll do it. Okay? Some other music sitting out. Another comment, and I'll go ahead and explain if maybe the person watches. I made my tribute to Maurice White and mentioned how I had never seen them in concert someone thought that it was unusual, or it seemed kind of odd that this would be a band that I wouldn't see. I'd like to explain for those that don't know me. My path as a listener and as a person has been off the beaten path most of my life. I discovered progressive rock, avant-garde music at a young age, and discerned that this was some of the most interesting stuff. And so most of my life, when big mainstream stuff comes around, I would usually go, pshaw, I don't have time for that. And do I have regrets now? You could say that I do. One is Earth, Wind, and Fire. When they came to Omaha, as much as I respected them, probably at the time, my mindset was like this. I had no interest, okay? Because I was way into completely be off the beaten path. That made that not explain, but that's what was going on, and that's why I haven't seen Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's why there's been a lot of big shows. Like, for example, back in the 70s when Led Zeppelin came, I think, to Kansas City, or someplace near, I had an opportunity to go. And at the time, I was thumbing my nose at Led Zeppelin. I knew that they were good, and I liked them when they first came out. But, you know, I've gone through periods of growing up through being an adolescent and a young adult where I'm having attitudes that need to be adjusted. I've been a snob at times, you know, and, you know, yeah, it's like now when I look back upon it, I was like, well, yeah, that was dumb to miss Led Zeppelin. But I was, you know, I didn't know it at the time. I fully admit it, okay? So that's why I didn't try to go see Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I'm glad that the person spoke back, because the comment, not knowing the person, almost sounded like, you know, oh, is it? Am I supposed to have seen Earth, Wind, and Fire? But no, that's not what it was. It was cool, you know, stereotyping. You know what I mean? Oh, he's a brother. Sure, he loves Earth, Wind, and Fire. Well, yes, I do, but you know, but that wasn't the case. Okay, Chris Cole, thanks again for the music, brother. If you ever decide to make videos again, let me know. I stopped watching a lot of videos, and the last few of your videos were hard to watch because of the screen resolution. I'm going to tell you straight up. I know you're dropping knowledge, but I couldn't see the records, the focus and everything. And it was just like, you know, hard to watch. So I didn't. Okay, people, be well.